Ali ibn Abu Talib, he said that we as Muslims, we should be people who are satisfied with the little. Al-Qana' bil-Qalil, to be satisfied with the very little that we have. And in the month of Ramadan, it's a time for us to appreciate exactly what that really means. Because many of us, we become accustomed to having so much, and we always want more, really. In fact, if you ask any man nowadays, are you satisfied with what you have? They'll say, no, I want another car. I need a better job. I need a better career. I've got, £10,000 in my bank account, but it would be nice to have another 10,000. And that's why you find man, by his very own nature, as being described in another hadith, that if the son of Adam, if he was to be given a mountain of gold, he would never be satisfied. And the only thing that would satisfy him would be the dust inside his own grave. Meaning man, by his own nature, Muslim or non-Muslim, when he's got something, he always wants more. And that's why you find in the West, for example, interest banks, where people are investing in stocks and shares. Even though they got big mansions, even though they got nice Mercedes cars, even they got all of these nice things, but still they want more. Whereas the advice of the Sahabi, the advice of the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the nephew of Rasulullah, he said that we should be satisfied with the little that we have. Because when we compare ourselves to those who have much less than us, that should be a cause and a motivation and a drive for us to then give shukr to Allah Azza wa Jal. To look to what Allah Azza wa Jal has given me. He's given me fresh air to breathe. He's given me a nose in order to breathe with and breathe out with, and lungs. And all of the various body parts that we have, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 feet, 2 ears, nostrils, eyelashes, eyebrows. The list in itself is endless, and Allah Azza wa Jal, He describes this in one chapter of the Quran known as chapter Ar-Rahman, Surah Ar-Rahman. He said, and which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? And even if you were to try to count the blessings and the ni'mah of Allah Azza wa Jal, you would never ever be able to count them. The list in itself would be endless. The very same Sahabi, he said we should prepare for the day of departure. Preparing for the day of departure is what? Not talking about Heathrow Airport or Los Angeles or New York or anything like that. Preparing for the day of departure, meaning prepare for the day when we're actually going to leave. So when we contemplate these 2 matters now, which he's mentioned now, being satisfied with the little and being prepared for the day of departure, we can see there's a link there. There is a huge, massive link between the two. The two, they have this talazum, this molding together. How? Because being satisfied with the little means when you go to the grave, you go with very little. In fact, that very little that you have, even if you just have merely the shirt on your own back in your grave, you'll be lucky if you even go with that. You'll be shrouded in a piece of cloth, buried, and the only thing, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in fact, he said inside the hadith, he said only 3 things would accompany a man to his grave, and from amongst them, the one that which would stay would be his own good deeds that he's done inside this life. So contemplate and think about what you've done. What have you done? That next £10,000 that you're going to put inside the bank to go and gain that interest, which is haram, incidentally, that riba. In fact, making war with Allah Azza wa Jal. But think about what have you done as a real investment, the real stocks and shares and the bonds which you've made in order to get good blessings and good barakah in the akhirah, and for your grave to be spacious and wide. And may Allah Azza wa Jal make your grave and my grave spacious and wide.